I'm gonna say something that is in contrast to what my channel is doing, and I'm gonna use everybody's favorite word this month. I am mod fatigued when it comes to playing Skyrim and modding it. And before you dislike the video or put me in Whiterun's prison cells for me to rot for having this opinion, let me explain myself. I think modding is the best thing that has happened to Skyrim. Without modding, I don't think Skyrim will be as popular as it is. It's actually the very reason why I have started this channel, let alone the very reason that I started building my PC. But I figure out that sometimes you just want to put Skyrim and you just want to play the game. I'm going to give you 6 reasons, wait, 5, 6? Whatever. 6 reasons why I think modding overall sometimes can ruin the experience and why sometimes it's better to play Skyrim the way it was meant to be. By the way, I'm counting the Creation Club as mods as well. My name is Kavou, welcome to the channel, making Skyrim videos. I hope you like this new setup. Also, before we start, throw a like, subscribe to the channel, it helps a lot. That being said, number 1 reason is modding. That's right. Let me ask you this, how many times have you found yourself modding your game for hours and hours, even days, just to find out that after you've made your perfect mod list, you simply don't want to play the game anymore because you just wanted to mod it? Or even if you want to play the game, congratulations, because you've spent over 40 hours modding the game, so you are already exhausted or fatigued and you only play Skyrim only to finish 5 quests and never come back again. My point is that modding Skyrim can be extremely tedious and it takes the fun out of the game. Let alone if you are new when it comes to modding, you have to know all of those different patches, compatibilities. There is such a higher learning curve, which is the reason why you see those automated mod lists everywhere when you look on Nexus or the internet. Even the modders or the people like me who know a little bit more when it comes to modding are tired of modding the game for the 1000th time. Sometimes, as I've said, just want to boot the game. And lastly, before moving to the second point, I have a new setup. I've bought a laptop so I can make videos when I travel between places, and I've modded my game beforehand so I can record the game, show some mods, make some videos about it, and figures out some cognitive stuff like Windows 11 or OneDrive is having issues and I cannot use CNBs, I cannot use community shaders, I cannot use so many mods. And I have to find ways to solve this problem that shouldn't exist in the first place. I think in my final thoughts when it comes to modding being tedious, and I'm putting too much time on this already, is that Bethesda gives zero damn when it comes to modding. It comes down to the shoulders of the modders to fix everything, and the modders themselves, they're like you. They are players, they can only do so much. So this is the reason I've made this video, because I've been playing vanilla Skyrim with very few mods. The second reason is, you might be surprised by this, but playing vanilla Skyrim is actually good. It's refreshing. Playing vanilla Skyrim made me appreciate how beautiful the world of Skyrim is, and I'm gonna touch this subject later on. Have in mind, I'm a big fan of keeping Skyrim as close to the vanilla as possible, but even when I try to do that with mods, I think the game always, at some degree, turns away from what the developers wanted Skyrim to look like. Have in mind, Skyrim was made 15 years ago, and back then, Bethesda had some of the best minds when it came down to creating the environment, creating, the weather, the music, everything. Adam Adamovich, for example, was the main guy who made the world of Morrowind, of Oblivion, and Skyrim. And you can tell how beautiful the world of Skyrim is, because again, all of those assets, when it came down to Bethesda, were absolutely peak when it came to the world design. And when you play Skyrim and it's unmodded, you appreciate this way more than you do with mods, because you walk around in Whiterun, for example, and you see the tundra, which resembles how Whiterun looks like, and then you move to Riverwood and you start to see the different grass density, and then you go to Falkreath and you see the longer and bigger trees, and essentially every city and town, even the shithole that is Mortal, is having a different variation of grass, of trees, and landscape. You can see the swamps, you can see the snow areas, you can see the mountains near the College of Winterhold. You can see so many things, and essentially I'm going on a tantrum here, you appreciate the world way more. Now, Vanilla Skyrim has issues, guys, don't get me wrong. There is a reason why I love modding when it comes to Skyrim. It is a broken game in the end of the day. How many times have you seen those videos of famous channels promoting mods that will enhance the music of Skyrim? In my opinion, Skyrim doesn't need an overhaul when it comes to music because it's simple, it has the best music out there. I mean, listen to this. My second point is, nothing can be compared to playing vanilla Skyrim, and sometimes simplicity can help us understand how much we've lost with making things super complex with fan service mods that have no impact on the lore or the whole landscape of Skyrim. And that's my second point, that vanilla Skyrim, the way it is, just like you, is beautiful. The third reason why I believe you should play vanilla Skyrim and avoid modding it is that vanilla Skyrim is very much finished at this point. It is a finished product, so you can enjoy and play the game and do whatever you want. But no matter how many mods you're going to put, you will always try to create the perfect game, but you will find out that there is always more. You want to try and make the combat better. You put precision in, then you put blade and blunt, for instance, which is my most favorite, and then you realize, so you know what, maybe we need to add a dodge mode, and then you start to adding more and more and more, and you turn it into something crazy that it keeps adding and it keeps adding. Imagine this on every single aspect of Skyrim. In other words, when you keep modding the game, you are trapped in this endless loop of modding the game forever and chasing updates, chasing new mods. And don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic process and I love modding the game, but sometimes, as I've said in the introduction of this video, it feels like 80% of my time goes into modding the game and only less than 20% goes into playing the game. And sometimes it's good to sit down and realize we will never have the perfect Skyrim, and that's why I love vanilla Skyrim with just very few mods. And when I say few, I mean less than 30 mods, which is what you are looking at right now from the footage, that is. And don't get me started on the glitches, the crashes between mods, and all of this crap that we have to download a million patches for great mods to work around. The third reason why you should play Skyrim the way it is without mods or without that many mods is that you will be surprised how many things you haven't discovered yet in the game. But playing vanilla Skyrim and having a setup complete world, it makes you to go out there and complete everything. I found out a few days ago when I was playing vanilla Skyrim, when you do the main quest in Thalmor Embassy, you can discuss as a Thalmor in the vanilla game if you are only high elf, which I happen to be a high elf, which is something I never knew you could do in Skyrim. And I've learned so many more new things, and I've discovered so many new locations, items, hidden dialogues with NPCs, and it made me appreciate the game more. And it's something that it doesn't matter how many mods you are going to add to the game, the satisfaction of you discovering and finding something new for the first time, it always feels so refreshing when it comes to playing vanilla Skyrim. I'm gonna have a hot take that Skyrim is a game that I don't think many people play for its gameplay. I think people play Skyrim for its world design, and I'm putting the world design on the same point that I'm making here, that discoverability of new locations or you just being part of the beautiful breathing world of Skyrim, it's something that is absolutely beautiful. You have no idea how many times I was feeling stressed in life or I was feeling very down. I've said this in previous videos, and I just spend time in Riverwood because it just makes me feel better. And what I'm trying to say is that the world of Skyrim, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful, well-designed worlds that you get attached to it. The music, the landscapes, even the NPCs.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't. Have a thing. What do you think you're... Oh.
And the voice acting can be quite questionable, and again, I'm not saying vanilla Skyrim is perfect, but overall it is such a fantastic experience that mods cannot give you that when it comes to playing the game. Fourth point is very short one that I believe, and that's another hot take, Skyrim, believe it or not, is perfectly balanced. I'm not trying to make a spitting brief type of reference, but I do believe Skyrim is very much balanced. You have the option to change the difficulty. I usually play on master difficulty, but I've realized that when I was using a bunch of combat overhauls, combining that with new animations, overhauls when it came down to magic, when you put all of those together, you are not getting a very balanced experience when it comes to Skyrim. When you're putting dodge mechanics into the Skyrim world, and when you're putting all of those different overhauls to the combat, it kinda makes the game extremely easy, or it can go the other way around where it becomes extremely hard. The point is, the game doesn't feel challenging, and overall it's going to give you a fantastic experience to play from start to finish. If you compare vanilla Skyrim with, let's say, a fairly good modded game when it comes to combat, I think the difference is extremely small, and the overall balance of the game, I think, is what makes vanilla Skyrim feel and play so much more better than most of the mod lists out there. Have in mind, most of the mods that add, let's say, new armors or new weapons, including the creation club stuff again, as I've said previously, they have completely unbalanced items, and items that you can get super early on that are extremely overpowered, or the opposite. So again, vanilla Skyrim doesn't do that, and it was built as the devs had the vision of the game. Fifth point, something that I came to realize very recently, is that sometimes we just don't want to play Skyrim anymore. Sometimes you're just bored of it. It's good to take breaks and explore different games. There are so many good RPGs coming out just this year. Avalon, for instance, is an amazing RPG game. Or Expedition 33 if you like this JRPG type of style. Sometimes it feels like I was forcing myself to play Skyrim, and it's not about making videos or anything, I just love the game overall. There is this thing about me that at least once or twice every year I will sit down and play Fallout New Vegas and mod it. For Skyrim, I do this almost every month, and sometimes I'm gonna use the word, I'm getting fatigued when it comes to that. People always try to find mods to recreate their very first experience when it came down to playing Skyrim. Because they're exhausted of playing the game for so long, they will never end up liking the experience, and then again, they're trapped into this modding spiral. You just mod the game non-stop just to figure out, you just don't get anything out of the game. There is no fun about it. Taking breaks many times is actually the best thing to do. Leaving the world of Skyrim behind just for few days, weeks, just to come back later, it always feels refreshing to me. So I think that's something that not many people are talking about, the importance of breaks when it comes to Skyrim in general, and no matter how many mods you're going to put into the game with new quest locations, like my most favorite mod of all time, that's Vigilant for instance. If you don't feel like you want to play Skyrim, you will not end up liking playing Skyrim. Nothing is a better testament of that than playing the vanilla game. Have in mind, Skyrim is one of those games that even after 10 years of its release, it still gets thousands of mods every month and videos that people generate tens of thousands of views. It's a game that the more time passes, the more people cover it and the more popular it becomes. It's crazy how big Skyrim is at this point, with modders always trying to fix Bethesda's faults, unofficial patches being, tradition at this point. And sixth and last point, before finishing this video, it's me talking about modding. When you play vanilla Skyrim and you spend lots of hours exploring the world, listening to the music, talking to the NPCs, doing the quests, crafting items and all of that, it makes you not only appreciate what you have in the game, but it also makes you appreciate what you don't have in the game. Maybe you don't like the randomness and the bugs when it comes to it, so maybe you just install an official Skyrim. Maybe you don't like how the crafting works and you want to add some more extra density when it comes to that. Or maybe you don't like how the magic works because it's very limiting and you want to install a bunch of magic mods. Or maybe you don't like the voice acting be very limited, so you want to add some AI voice lines to the game, and the list goes on. My point is, the more you play vanilla Skyrim, the more you discover the problems with the game. And when you discover the problems with the game, it's much more easier to address those, so you pick more mods that enhance those very things you don't like about the game. Many people keep adding random mods, fan service mode, but I don't think we really need that much when it comes to modding. For example, if I can talk about myself, I love what Precision does. Precision completely changes how swings work in the game, but I love to use the vanilla animations. I also love to use the vanilla combat system, which is why I don't use the true directional movement. I also like to use band roller, which makes me create my own bugs because I find not having enough carry weight it's kinda problematic for my playthroughs. Or another one, because I'm a big fan of Fallout New Vegas, I find the vanilla followers a little bit underwhelming, which is why I install a bunch of mods that overhaul the followers, giving them extra dialogues, extra quest lines. A very famous example is the Serana add-on overhaul, which is the most popular follower mod out there other than Indigo the Khajiit, which many of you for some reason call that I sound like. The more you play the base game, the more you realize the things it misses, and it makes you appreciate again both playing vanilla Skyrim and also modding it later on. That's pretty much my points. For closing the video, I don't think modding the game is bad by any means. I think having the option to mod the game or play the vanilla game, it's both amazing, the option to have that. So with all of this hoopla, that was pretty much my rant about Skyrim. Have in mind I'm using a completely new setup, so the quality of the videos might be a little bit down. I will be using mostly vanilla Skyrim as a footage for the next following video, so I don't know how much I will be able to cover mods, especially graphical ones when it comes to that, but I will figure out what I can do. You guys can help me do that down in the comment section. That being said, hope you like this new setup. My name is Kavou and I love making Skyrim videos. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy modding.